hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Oh, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Can you all hear me? All righty. If we could just get settled as we're now getting started for the night. If you all can kindly take your seats, pretty please. Alrighty, thank you. Your Excellency, Governor Jane Owen.
Honorable Andre Eubanks, Premier and Minister for Financial Services and Commerce.
Ms. Gloria Macfield-Nixon, Acting Deputy Governor.
Honorable Isaac Rankin, Minister for Social Development and Innovation and Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage.
Honorable Roslyn Englund, Minister for Finance and Economic Development and Minister for Education and Training.
Honorable J. Eubanks, Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure.
Honorable G. Wayne Panton, Parliamentary Secretary responsible for Caymanian employment and immigration, infrastructure, health, environment and sustainability, financial services, and commerce.
Heather Bodden, Parliamentary Secretary responsible for social development, education and training, and tourism. Mrs. Julie Hunter, Parliamentary Secretary responsible for planning, lands, agriculture, housing and infrastructure, education and training, culture and heritage.
Ms. Francine Jackson, Cayman Islands National Hero.
Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Samuel Rose.
Ms. Neil Pucci, Chief Officer for the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation.
Mr. Michael Eubanks, Chief Officer for the Ministry of District Administration and Home Affairs.
Ms. Rashma Sharma, Chief Officer for the Portfolio of Legal Affairs.
Making Waves awardees and their representatives.
Sponsors, judges, Cayman Connection directors, ambassadors, and volunteers.
Ladies and gentlemen, those who are here in person and all of you joining us from home on the live stream.
Good evening and welcome to the 4th annual Cayman Connection Making Waves Awards, which recognizes Caymanians living overseas who have made outstanding contributions and excelled in their respective fields. I will now be introducing myself. My name is Leonie Tibbetts. Most of you would know me for being a pilot or a past Miss World Cayman Islands. I'm a host, a speaker, now an entrepreneur, and many other things.
And I am Eddie Weber. I am a student ambassador for the USA for Cayman Connection, and I am delighted to be a co-MC this evening with Leonie Tibbetts. On behalf of the Cayman Connection Board of Directors, we would like to say a big thank you to the sponsors of this year's Making Waves Awards. They are the Ministry of Tourism and Trade Development, the Ministry of Health, Environment, and Sustainability, the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, the Ministry of Education and Training,
Maples Group, Bullish, the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, and RBC Royal Bank, Cayman Limited. Now, these awards cannot take place without your support, and we are very grateful for your sponsorship.
And thank you also to Madam Narosa for regaling us with her beautiful voice. We appreciate her spending some time with us this evening.
Yeah.
A round of applause, yes.
In addition, we're also very grateful for Diego Smith, a young Caymanian who is chefing it up from Las Tortugas Catering for the delicious bites, and Cayman Spirits for the refreshing cocktails.
And before we get started, some housekeeping matters to get out of the way.
Yes, please. So can you all take out your phones, your handy-dandy phones? Yes, everyone? Just do me a quick favor. Please put them on silent, please. And also, there are a limited number of programs, so if you all missed it, there's a QR code at the welcome desk that you can scan and pull up these programs, and on the programs you will find more information about the awardees as well as Cayman Connection.
And restrooms are located in the foyer to your right. And please help us keep this beautiful theater clean by disposing of any food and beverage items in the garbage bins located in the foyer. Also, please, if you take any pictures tonight, tag us on Facebook at Cayman Connection and Instagram at KConnect. And the agenda tonight is quite straightforward. We'll have a few remarks from our distinguished speakers, followed by the announcement of each of the 2025 Making Waves award recipients, and the presentation of their awards.
And we also have one prize to give at the end, and it is a draw for a Cayman Airways travel voucher, which I wish I could get one, but anyhow. And that will go to one of the individuals who actually took the time to nominate someone for the Making Waves Awards this year.
And once the formalities have concluded, we hope you will take a moment to congratulate the awardees, catch up with friends, or make some new connections, and sign up, of course, as a Cayman Connection member if you haven't done so already.
Yep, and now we are welcoming our very first speaker for tonight, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our premier, Andre Ebanks, who will be greeting us. Mr. Ebanks is a trusted, steadfast advocate for Cayman Connection's work and mission, and we are very happy that he can be here with us tonight despite his very busy schedule. So, Mr. Premier.
Thank you very much.
Good evening! I kind of feel like I'm on Broadway. I've never really been backstage in an auspicious stage like this that we have in Cayman, and then come out to be announced like this. This is fantastic. So good evening, Cayman. Good evening, Harkwell Theater, and good evening to all the audience online. How are we feeling tonight? As kind of indicated by Leanne in the opening remarks, Cayman Connection has a special connection in my heart. I was supposed to stand out here by myself, but I forced Kate Kandaya and Ms. Cherie to come out with me, particularly Kate, because in my time as the government rep to the UK and Europe, I remember when Kate had this idea in her head to build an organization that would connect Caymanians overseas to their place at home, and in exchange for Caymanians at home to recognize the efforts of Caymanians overseas. So I've seen this grow from very, very small organization to now get to this height and length. I am extremely proud of all that Cayman Connection has accomplished and is going to continue to accomplish. Please give them a round of applause. And if I remember correctly, what was at root was to try to build a bridge. And it's become even more important now, because if you look around, whether we truly appreciate it or not, Cayman is global. We have Olympic swimmers. We have pageant contestants on the world stage. We have golfers at international competitions. We have poets, we have artists. So we're no longer just a small jurisdiction still trying to justify itself in the world. When you combine our economic financial services center powerhouse, with innovation that's coming, and all of our academic, cultural, and sports activities, it becomes even more important now to be sure that we are celebrating each milestone of every Caymanian overseas. So those of you who are nominated tonight, I think it's 11? 11 of you, we have to appreciate everything that you are doing to move the goalpost around the world for this gem of a country of ours. So thank you, because each one of you are winners in our hearts. Thank you very much. But I don't think it stops there. For each of the 11 that win, I think then you then have to then think about how you are going to bring up the generation behind you, so that hopefully this gets to a stage where it's a completely packed house and it's not 11, it becomes 30, maybe 50 Caymanians that we are celebrating their achievements overseas as we continue to mark our way in this world. So tonight, let us just kick back, let us relax, and enjoy and celebrate all that we are achieving locally and globally as Caymanians. God bless you all, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to pop this one in here. Thank you so much, Premier. Doing the technological thing here. Don't use paper anymore. Thank you so much, Honourable Premier Ebanks. I love the way you deliver always such genuine and heartfelt, unscripted remarks, always from the heart. I'm always in awe. Thank you. So to follow that, I'd love to be off the cuff, but it's probably best for all of our sakes that I actually stick to the script. Thank you to our amazing MCs, Eddie and Yanu, who've begun the proceedings with such aplomb, ensuring that the full and appropriate welcomes, formalities, and protocols are met. Thank you. So now it leaves me just to say I welcome you all, our esteemed guests here tonight, and it really warms my heart that you're all here. And talking of heartwarming, this program is certainly that. A bit like children, we're not supposed to say which program of Cayman Connection is our favorite, but there are so many, and this is definitely up there for me. Now in its 4th year, the Making Waves Awards is very close to my heart. It is year 4 of Making Waves Awards, but that also encompasses year 13 of the actualization and development of a concept of the heart. It's year 7 of a fully fledged not-for-profit community interest company in the UK, and it's year 5 of a registered MPO in the Cayman Islands. So just a brief bit about Cayman Connection. Some of you might be new to Cayman Connection, some of you know us really well. 12 years strong, we founded the organization in the UK, as Honourable Premier said, as a very small group of students. We were for students by students. It was a network offering support, networking, events, and more. We worked in conjunction with the Cayman Islands Government Office in the UK and the Department of Tourism in the UK, alongside private sector partners and associates. We grew and grew and grew until we were no longer a small group of students in the UK, but a membership of students, associates, professionals, parents, families, and dogs. Yes, we had a few Caymanian dogs overseas as well. Did you know that? These were members not just in the UK now, but all over the world. So our large membership meant that we could offer a wide range of subject-specific activity: virtual yard meetings, book clubs, fitness clubs, cooking classes, and various workshops. Last year, we decided that we had expanded beyond our capacity and realized, that's a good problem to have, but we realized that the students and young people whom the organization had originally started had perhaps lost a bit of our focus. So we've reframed our mission, vision, and values to reflect that move back to focus on them, on their growth from their experiences studying and training overseas, details which can be found in your brochures, by the way. We do still encourage all members of all ages and all situations to join our network, because you too have something to give back to our student members. Some of our flagship initiatives that involve all of our members have remained strong, including our Making Waves program, which is open to Caymanians overseas of all ages and stages in their career, as you have seen. This then serves to inspire our young people and ensure that they aspire to be the best and to know that those people before them are there to assist and to help and mentor them through any transition. You have our support. So some very, very brief updates while I'm here, our plans and aspirations for the organization. We've recently recruited our new global lead student ambassadors for the 2025-26 academic year, and we're currently recruiting our lead ambassadors per region, and that's been happening even tonight as we speak. So thank you to Gabby King and Kayla Jeffers, who are taking on the lead role for Global. We have our Student Ambassador Committee, and they have, over the last year, been regional leads and have been making waves in their own way. So thank you so much. I have to thank all our student ambassadors for the amazing jobs they've done, particularly our outgoing global lead student ambassador, Ayanda Jones, who's led and delivered our support programs for students across the world. And to our regional ambassadors, Gabby King, Eddie Weber, Kayla Jeffers, Georgina Kerford, Shanika Taylor, Brianna Solomon, Celine Weber. They've all played a vital role in our programming and support for students all around the world, so thank you. To new things, we are launching our new Cultural Connector program with the help of James Geary, who's here tonight. He travels the world with his voice and connecting skills, and we're going to continue to combine our efforts and host more in-person events for our Caymanians overseas. We're also very excited to be launching our all-new member portal. This is happening in the coming months and is promising to be a new and fresh way for our members to communicate, to help celebrate each other, to help each other, and as well to showcase their own activities and services amongst their membership and the network. So if you like what you hear, I just will say, please get involved. There are many ways to do so. Sign up as a member, volunteer, become a sponsor, and feedback. Please tell us what you think, tell us what you need, tell us what you as members can do for the other members and how you can help our community thrive. We're listening and learning all the time as an organization. So let us know so we can grow. Love that. Just came up with that on the way here. I have to finish with some extremely important thank yous to our amazing executive director, Ashley Akanumi, who can't be here tonight. I'm sure she is watching. We hope you're enjoying your beautiful new baby and enjoying family time. We miss you so much, and we're looking forward to having you back, me particularly. And thank you for everything that you have done to set us in motion while you're away. To our board, Marzita Bodden, Benno Galuli, Winston Connolly, Robin Harding, we could not do this without you. So this program wouldn't be possible, of course, without our amazing sponsors. Thank you to the Cayman Islands government and all of our sponsors for jumping on board, for believing in us and helping us celebrate Caymanians who are doing our country proud. Our judges, who you will hear from now, I could not do this job, honestly. It is amazing. There are so many incredible nominees, and I would really struggle with that, so thank you. I'm glad that bit is totally out of my hands, thank goodness. So all those who nominated, huge thanks. Without the nominations, we have no program. So please think about who you can nominate. Think about who's overseas doing amazing things and make sure you get your nominations in. It's really important for us. So many people, as you can see, have come together to make this event possible and this program possible, this amazing venue, the photography teams, the videography teams, the incredible volunteers, the catering, the drinks. Thank you to all. And of course, to Rhonda Bev and the Kelly Holding team for putting it all together with such grace and Caymanian spirit. You are all amazing. So I say all that to say it takes a village, and we are certainly that. A community for each other, together wherever we are in the world, and we thank you all for being here and a part of this. So I'm so excited to now share the 2025 awardees with you tonight. And I'll pass you over to our amazing judge, Ms. Sherry Ebanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. And come, let's give her another big round of applause. I think this is a very, very special celebration, the Cayman Connection Making Waves Award. Tonight we honor the enduring spirit, tenacity, hard work, and brilliance of Caymanians making their mark throughout the world. As a judge, it is both a privilege and an incredible honor to help shine the spotlight on those who carry the essence of Caymankind beyond our shores. Alongside my respected judges, Marzita Bodden, Shamari Scott, Winston Conley, and Tasha Ebanks Garcia, I have been both humbled and inspired by the stories of excellence that have emerged from our small and global community. The Making Waves Awards now in the 4th consecutive year, are more than recognition. They are a call to action and a powerful reminder. They remind us that our people, no matter how far they roam or how high they climb, bring us a bit of Cayman with them wherever they go. Each nominee, and especially each winner, represents not only individual achievement, but also the collective pulse of a nation unafraid to dream beyond its borders. These individuals continue to carry the Cayman flag and Cayman kindness across the globe, as our fathers and grandfathers did decades ago. When we reflect on our past recipients, we are blessed with powerful examples that reflect the strength, diversity, and ambition of our Caymanian diaspora. Jordan Crooks, who took the swimming world by storm, has become a symbol of perseverance, excellence, and national pride. His journey from local pools to international podiums exemplifies the determination inherent in our people. Similarly, Frankie Flowers, who is motivated by his desire to tell authentic Caribbean stories on the global stage. Their stories captivate us, not because of their achievements, but because of their unwavering commitment to representing Cayman with integrity, humility, and excellence. Their journeys also serve as reminders that success is seldom solitary. Behind every award-winning Caymanian is a network of family, mentors, and community members who have lent their support and encouragement along the way. In celebrating these achievements, we are also celebrating the foundations that have enabled them to thrive, our tight-knit families, dedicated teachers, and proud communities. These Making Wave winners are not just ambassadors of Caymanian talent. They embody the values that make our country unique: resilience, ingenuity, and a commitment to service. Their accomplishments do not exist in a vacuum. They incite young Caymanians to see themselves as architects of the future, leaders, pioneers, change makers. Each story becomes a beacon, lighting the way for those who dare to believe, to dream, and to chase excellence beyond our shores. To all nominees and winners, know this: you serve as living proof that the size of our nation is no constraint on the scale of our dreams or the impact we can have on the world. You make waves, not only in your respective fields, but in the hearts and aspirations of the next generation. Your stories encourage a young girl in Bordentown to believe she can solve the world's greatest challenges, or a young man in West Bay to see a future on a global stage. And let us always remember, it is not just about achievement for achievement's sake. It is about what we give back, how we continue to represent our Caymanian identity, and the legacy we leave for those who will follow. And what these awards signal to the world is that Cayman is a country of excellence. Our people are forging legacies that transcend geography while continuously anchoring their identity in the warmth of Caymanian community, culture, and values. And I also want to pause a moment to recognize and thank Cayman Connection, especially Kate, whose vision not only sparked this initiative, but set it on fire. Thank you for building the bridges that keep us all connected, celebrating the unstoppable force that is the global Caymanian. As we recognize these exceptional individuals tonight, let's remember that their waves ripple back to our islands, uplifting our nation and reminding us all that Caymanians, wherever they may be, carry our country's heart into the future. Congratulations to all the Making Waves winners, past and present. You're not only making waves, but you're making history. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Amazing, Kate. Thank you. No, thank you so much.
Alrighty, so we've now heard from our premier, as well as Kate, the founder of Cayman Connection, and Ms. Cherie, one of our judges. And just to give you some insight, these judges, I mean, she already spoke about it, but these judges had the formidable task of reviewing every last nomination in every category to acknowledge we just want to acknowledge the time that they've taken for this, as well as your hard work, We really, really appreciate it. And the judges were Marzita Bawden, Shamari Scott, Winston Connolly, Tasha Ebanks Garcia, and Cherie Ebanks, who we just heard from. So, yeah. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, it's time to announce our award recipients. We have 9 award categories in total. And as we introduce each awardee, we will play a short video to showcase their experience overseas in their own words.
And the first presentation of the evening is the Inclusion Award, which celebrates those who have actively promoted equality, diversity, and inclusion either in their personal or professional lives. This award aims to shine a light on those who proactively seek and action ways to make the community they live in more inclusive. It champions those who have contributed to reducing the disparity gap amongst one or more sections of society to improve accessibility and increase opportunities for all. The recipient of the 2025 Inclusion Award is Emma Graham Taylor. This passionate advocate for inclusion and gender equality has made a lifelong commitment to social justice and empowerment, and so many lives are better for her having done so. Let's meet Emma in this short video.
My name is Emma Graham Taylor. I am a general HR management professional. I hold an EMC Global EIA professional designation as a coach. I am an outspoken advocate for equity and fairness. I'm a problem solver and solutions finder, and I am very humbled to have been awarded the Inclusion Award. Having been an outsider from an early age, you know, I was a young person from the Cayman Islands at a British boarding school, and I instinctively felt what it was like to be an outsider, right? And I felt the power and importance of inclusion, and that's probably what's informed how I've approached my life. I mean, I think everyone deserves a fair shake and should be accepted based on what they bring to the table, right? Not what they look like or sound like or present as. And I have come to understand that there is real power in diversity of background and experience, opinion, education, gender, physical ability, race, age, religion, you know. And what I've learned over the course of my career is that if you want to build amazing things or solve really hard problems, then you need diversity to do that well. I pivoted in my career in my 40s. And I left a general management job I had been in for 14 years and went to study for a master's in human resource management. And as I was doing this, James Bergstrom and Nick Rogers at Osia in Cayman took a bet on me and hired me as their HR manager. And I wasn't qualified. And I will forever be grateful to them for believing in me and giving me that opportunity. And that role then really helped develop my focus and impact professionally in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. And it gave me the knowledge and skill to get involved, particularly with Gender Equality Cayman. You don't need to have a plan. Just do things right and do the right things and be kind and get up every day and try to add value in the service of others, and it's all going to work out, right? Yeah. I care deeply about people, and I look for ways every day to support others and pay it forward. I've been incredibly fortunate in my life, you know, and so I feel like I have a duty to pay it forward. And I believe that satisfaction really is found in the service of others, and I look for ways to do this. I try to practice kindness and compassion, and I give myself and others grace to rise when we fall, because none of us are perfect. I would encourage students who are Caymanian studying overseas to actively get involved with Cayman Connection. This is not passive engagement, it's active engagement, because I think that Cayman Connection gives Caymanians that engage with their programs a real advantage. It helps them to build social capital, it helps them to build resilience and independence, and I think that those things can really help give you the building blocks to form a successful career.
That was amazing. Yeah, round of applause. So, unfortunately, Emma cannot be with us here this evening, but in her absence, her sister, Tara Hopwood, along with Emma's dear friend, Julia Golden, will accept her award from Premier Andre Ebanks. Premier, Tara, and Julia, please join us on stage. And tonight, we are delighted to have Miss Universe Cayman Islands 2024, Reagan Ruddy, assisting us with the awards. Thank you, Miss Ruddy. Absolutely.
I'm so sorry, I won't keep you all here very long. I will keep this short. I'm not a fan of public speaking, although I could talk about my sister for hours. Having nominated Emma for this award, I'm absolutely thrilled she was deemed deserving. In my eyes, of course, she already was, but it's wonderful to know that you agree. Much of Emma's life has been spent identifying issues and solving them with special focus on finding those who are unable to speak out, speak up, or for those who didn't even realize they have a voice. She will always fight for what's right, regardless of the personal cost. So thank you very much for recognizing Emma as deserving of this award. I know she's humbled by it and feels utterly undeserving, but that's because she feels she's only doing what anybody else would do, and yet we know everybody else isn't doing it. And that's why we need the Emmas of the world to lift more than their share to make up for those who aren't lifting at all. Perhaps the example she sets will encourage others, and eventually the load will get lighter for those pioneers like Emma who are still doing the heavy lifting. And Julia's got some words from Emma that she wants to share.
Emma's asked me to say thank you, but first I'd just like to say Emma lives equality, inclusion and kindness, both here in Cayman and now in the USA or UK. Whether she's dealing with a member of government, a committee, a board, a CEO, in an endeavour to change policy or influence work culture, or whether quietly from the roots helping with a resume or a job search, being beside someone who's travelling a cancer journey, cooking for and supporting those who are really struggling and living on the margins, she will always be fully present. Emma, in a broader sense, encapsulates inclusion, equality, and kindness. Here are Emma's words. It feels lopsided to be receiving an award from Cayman Connection because the reality is it's they who deserve accolades and awards for the work that they are doing. As long as award giving like this serves to highlight the important contribution that Cayman Connection make in the lives of Caymanian students overseas and helps to garner support, so much the better. I'm grateful to Cayman Connection, a lifeline for young, ambitious Caymanian students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Premier, Tara, Julia, and Reagan. So the next presentation is in the Environment and Sustainability Award, which fittingly is sponsored by the Ministry of Health, Environment, and Sustainability. This award category recognizes those individuals who promote environmental responsibility and have demonstrated excellence and commitment to managing environmental issues such as promoting energy efficiency, climate resiliency, and sustainability innovation. The 2025 Making Waves Environmental and Sustainability Award goes to my friend, Dr. Katrina Jern. So if you can now turn your attentions to the screen to learn more about this passionate Caymanian environmental sociologist, sorry, I can't even pronounce that. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Whose impact spans from policy, advocacy, education, and who continues to inspire a more sustainable future for the Cayman Islands.
I'm receiving the award for my work in environmental and sustainability practices in the Cayman Islands. I was the co-founder of Sustainable Cayman, and have also been involved in a range of other community-led conservation and sustainability projects. A few years later, when I was a graduate student at the University of Cambridge, I interacted with the precursor to Cayman Connection. So at the time, the founder of Cayman Connection, Kate Kandaya, was working in the Cayman office along with the former Cayman representative, Ms. Jennifer Dilbert, and they were in many ways doing some of the work that Cayman Connection now does. And they were, a great support to me at that time, introducing me to people that would be very helpful to my research. And also they invited me to come along with them to a European Commission meeting in Brussels, which was really great exposure for me at the time. And so I'm really pleased to see the growth of Cayman Connection, because although my time as a student was kind of before Cayman Connection was really formed, I certainly saw the need for that sort of support for students and others who are living abroad. So I think the biggest lesson that has come to me more recently, so right now I'm working and living in Canada, and I'm involved with Indigenous-led conservation and environmental assessments and the assertion of Indigenous rights and interests here in Canada. And so one of the lessons that has really brought out for me, reflecting on the work of the past sort of 2 decades in Cayman, to quote one of the more famous environmental activists of our day, Greta Thunberg, there's no climate justice without social justice. And I think, this is, I think we are also seeing in Cayman the changes over time, both to our environment and to the conditions that people are living under, economic stresses, cost of living, a health system and education system that are not really supporting our people. People are feeling, a lot of Caymanians are feeling that they've slipped through the cracks. And so as critical as it is to protect our natural environment, it is critical that we equally address social injustices. And together they're like intricately interwoven, and we have to bring both of these along and address them equally. So I'd say that is one of the kind of key lessons that have come to me more recently. So for those unsure about the future, I would say, follow your heart, be well, do your research. There are, there's a lot of challenges in our community that need to be addressed, and we definitely need, we need our young people to be filling those gaps and be the ones who are solving those problems for us. We can't rely on people from other countries to solve the issues with our education system or our planning or strategic planning, conservation. We need to be solving those ourselves. So I would say for young people to both reflect on what they are passionate about, but also the issues in our community that need to be solved, and see what role they can play in finding solutions. I am working in Canada, working with the First Nation, working with their environmental assessments, helping them to assert their rights and titles. It is a very interesting sort of conservation and human rights space to be working in, and it's I feel very, very privileged to have this opportunity to learn from peoples who have been stewarding their lands from time immemorial. And there's so many lessons that I'm learning. It's really a fascinating experience for me. I feel very, very privileged, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow in this role.
Unfortunately, Dr. Jern is unable to be here with us today, but we will ask her mother, Miss Renette Jern, accompanied by Miss Shirley Rolston, to come up. They will collect the award on her behalf, which will be presented by Parliamentary Secretary, Mr. Wayne Panton, and we will now do the photo as well as the presentation. There we go. Well, thank you, Mr. Ponton, Aunt Charles, and Ms. Jern. We'll now move into our next presentation, which is the Arts, Culture, and Heritage Award. This award is designed to honor those individuals who have made significant contributions to enrich cultural life, highlight Caymanian heritage, promote creative growth through arts education, or have demonstrated a high level of artistic talent and success while overseas. The recipient of the 2025 Making Waves Arts, Culture, and Heritage Award is none other than Rita Estevanovich. Now, this beloved award-winning Caymanian actress and cultural ambassador's dedication to heritage, storytelling, and community makes her a true force in Caymanian arts and an inspiration to all of us, myself included. Let's hear from Rita.
I'm Rita Estevanovich. I am an actress, also voice artist. I'm a mother, and I'm a Caymanian living overseas in London. I didn't really consider the arts as a career until I did The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in school, and we had a teacher who directed the show. Her name was Pam Nelson, who said to me, you know, you're very good. You could consider pursuing this. I was in high school by this time, and I thought, oh, I could do this, you know, as a career. I could actually make this my work. And so she did plant a seed, and I did start to think about it more seriously probably after that production. And then I just continued to be involved in the arts locally in Cayman, in dance with Dance Unlimited, and in Young at Arts, which is through the National Theatre there, Hartwell Theatre, and worked with Dr. Henry Matu, and he certainly gave me a lot of encouragement. And yeah, so I would say it wasn't something I knew instantly that I would be doing, but with encouragement from the community, I slowly started to see it as a possibility. Perhaps during the COVID period, I felt most vulnerable, but what was really nice was that during that period I knew other Caymanians overseas as well, here very close to me, and we were able to communicate, support one another. Cayman Connection, of course, was a big part of that. Cayman Connection had virtual yard meetings for people to get together, to commune, to laugh in spite of it all. And yes, it's a really special community organization. And when I tell people about Cayman Connection who are not Caymanians, they're really impressed and sort of taken aback by the fact that we are we are such a small community in a sense, but yet we do these big things, and that there is this network that supports one another, whether it's on WhatsApp or in a virtual yard meeting or through award schemes like Making Waves. So thankfully, we have an organization like this for Caymanians overseas, and it is a blessing in those times of vulnerability. It's interesting because I've done work that is very sort of accessible to people worldwide. I most recently appeared in Black Mirror, for instance, and that you get a lot of messages, you get calls, you get emails, people are posting on social, and they're really making you feel special for having achieved that, having gotten this far, just because it's a noteworthy anthology series. I mean, it's pretty epic in a sense, and other projects that I've done as well that would appear on Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus. So those projects definitely make me feel like, wow, I'm doing it. I'm making waves, essentially. At the same time, some of the projects that are closest to my heart are really projects I've done in Cayman, smaller scale. Not many people would see them except for people locally. Sometimes only people in a particular district would have seen this performance. And there's something very special about doing work at home in front of your community. I'd say the lesson I've learned in this journey as an artist overseas is that community is essential. Having people that are rooting for you when you find it difficult to root for yourself. Family is critical. Having that family support, whether it's your blood relatives or people that you have made your family, having them around is really important, because you're going to need someone to help you on the days when you feel discouraged, essentially. And hard work is a part of it all, as well as faith, believing you can in spite of the odds.
All right, we're very, very delighted to have Rita here with us this evening, and we'd like to ask her, as well as Minister Isaac Ranking, to join us on stage for this presentation. You all could step here for the photo.
I said I wouldn't give a speech, but I am feeling really emotional and honored and humbled. We have such incredible people across the world. We really do. And it is with great pride that I hold this up. I know there must have been hundreds of people in this particular category, because we have such high caliber artists, again, across the globe and right here. Even the young lady who opened this particular event, I mean, that voice, I just have to say, wow, wow, world class. In every single category, world-class people, really and truly. And Cayman Connection is recognizing that, and they deserve another round of applause because they're seeing something special, and they're saying, look at us, everywhere we go. And I just want to say thank you to those who nominated me for this award, by Horacio Esteban, by the way. Who's here tonight as well, another incredible Caymanian. And I think it's important to just say here, and then I will leave you because we have so many other awardees whose videos always bring me to tears every single year. I am just amazed at the caliber of our people. I think it's important, though, to note that we started here. And for me in particular, I started right here. You know, well, actually, no, I got some triple C's here. They're gonna say, you started triple C. That's where you really started, right? So way back. But here, and across the 3 islands, that's what we have in common. So there's something very special about this place, these 3 islands. There's something good in the water, something very good in the water. So I will leave you all now, but just keep in mind for any young people watching this on the live stream or here in the audience, don't discount home. Do the work here, right? You can have the international stage as well, but it starts here. And I'm going to say this, and this will be a note to self, and then come back home. Come back home. I can hear the McTaggarts now. Come back home to your islands. Long to see you walk upon my... Come on, help me out. They belong to my children, and my children belong to the Cayman Islands. Thank you so much, Cayman Connection. Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you so much, Rita and Minister Rankin. Next, we have the Health and Wellness Award, which is also sponsored by the Ministry of Health, Environment, and Sustainability. This award celebrates those who embody health and wellness principles and leave a meaningful and lasting impression on those they care for. It is designed to champion innovators and pioneers in the field, those who have achieved tangible success, as well as those who have demonstrated an excellent commitment in the health and wellness sector. And I'm proud to announce the recipient of the 2025 Health and Wellness Award is Mr. John J.J. Gillooly, M.D. And unfortunately, JJ could not be here with us this evening, but let's get to know this Caymanian-born orthopedic surgeon, medical educator, and former trauma surgeon. Let's watch this video.
I first moved off the island properly to go to medical school. So that was about 1994. And then from then I've been going backwards and forwards and going away quite a bit. So moved to Hawaii, I think in 2003, just to get some more experience. And then moved to the UK, maybe 2005. And was then off in Australia in around about 2015. So it's always quite daunting going away and abroad, but it was exciting and just necessary for training. Probably moving to Hawaii, so that's probably my first time being somewhere really abroad. And I remember my first day, just being in the hotel room, looking out the window and realizing, wow, I don't know anybody here. And you know, the next person that I know is maybe thousands of miles away. So that's pretty daunting, but also, you know, you just sort of trust in yourself. you reach out to your friends, your family. So lots of phone calls, lots of talking, and you just make some friends, and you get through it. So it's I guess that's where it's important to realize your community and your connections. They can sort of give you your strength to to persevere through. I think when you're younger, you never quite know exactly what you want to do, but I remember trying out a few different careers, volunteering, and then Truman Miles at the hospital, he ran the ambulance service. So I volunteered there, and he got me in, and I managed to go around through the various departments in HSA, and met some really fantastic people, and I guess that sort of started a lifelong passion in this. I mean, every bit along the way, you meet some just really, truly exceptional people, so getting to work with them, and just teaching, the rewards you get from that. In terms of fun things that I've done, probably working at the Formula One was probably the most fun. You really get to experience some a fantastic organization. You meet some incredible people, and you get to do some really cool stuff. You need to reach out to your community. You need to rely on your mentors. Everybody. You really sort of stand on the shoulders of giants. Nobody does this themselves. You've really got to reach out to those around you, learn from those ahead of you, and try and support those underneath you. We're all kind of going through this together. So that's probably been collaboration, humility, and hard work. Well, I mean, I would like to come back to Cayman, so hopefully it's and I think that would be the plan, to come back and try and use what I've learned and skill set that I've got to try and just help the community, and to try and improve healthcare in Cayman, and to try and keep things moving forward.
And so JJ's award will be accepted tonight by Ms. Crystal McLean, Human Resources Officer at the Cayman Islands Health Services Authority. You may wonder what the connection is between JJ and the HSA. Well, we are excited to tell you that JJ will be moving back home to Cayman in September, when he will take up, let's give a round of applause, yeah. And in September, when he moves back, he will take up the position of orthopedic surgeon at the Health Services Authority. What an amazing achievement for HSA and our community. I now invite Ms. McLean to the stage and ask Parliamentary Secretary Panton to join us to make the presentation. And if you could join us right here in the middle of the stage and get the picture taken, that would be great. Thank you very much. The caliber of nominations this year in the health and wellness category was truly exceptional, making the judge's decision a particularly difficult one. One additional nominee stood out so strongly that the panel felt compelled to formally acknowledge his outstanding work. And so we are proud to present a highly commended honor in the health and wellness category to none other than Dr. Joel Rose. And we do this in recognition of his remarkable contributions, specifically in the field of advanced gastrointestinal and bariatric surgery. Please turn your attention now to the screen as Dr. Rose reflects on his journey.
My mom's a nurse, and I was exposed to healthcare from my early age. She wasn't doing clinical nursing at the time. She was doing education, but I was raised in a house where she was talking about healthcare, and teaching anatomy and things like that. And at night, I remember her reading Dr. Ben Carson's books, Think Big and Gifted Hands and things like that. And that was what we went to sleep listening to, right? My older brother and myself. And then he actually visited in the Cayman Islands, came to our school assembly, and I got a chance to meet him and things like that there. Just finding someone that I could identify with, someone that I saw as a surgeon that looked like me, you know, and that was something that was inspirational. In my first night of being in New Mexico, I remember not adjusting to altitude sickness and playing on a basketball court for about an hour and a half and not understanding how high I was in the mountains there. And while everyone was at a party, I was in the bathroom throwing up, not because I was drunk, I wasn't drinking or anything, but it was just like my body wasn't used to it. And then adjusting to like being away from home. And as I started off at an international school in New Mexico, where there was 75 countries represented and 200 students at United World College, and understanding different cultures, understanding that even though I was in the United States, that, you know, everyone has different vantage points, different things like that. And then adjusting to the academics, I definitely found even though I did well in school, it was a different level and it was a good challenge, but it definitely helped with growth. At this point in time, getting a bariatric program started in a rural place where no one thought that was possible, along with my colleague, Dr. Charles Moore. We came straight out of my fellowship, and we built a program from ground up, which was a comprehensive program, dietitian, the nursing staff, the hospital. It was a true team effort. And when we got our certification process and going and having that, being designated a center of excellence, I realized that it was a culmination of the studying, the work that we had already done. We had to show that and prove that we had good results with our patients, things like that. So it's like a stamp approval of, hey, you guys are doing the right thing, you're taking good care of patients and things like that. Life has a way of working itself out, but not to get into despair when you don't see that you desire working out immediately. I can be here all night or all day telling you about how I thought my life was going to be, and it didn't turn out the way that I thought. And that's okay. It's still beautiful. It's my story. And I believe that God is the architect of my story. So my last word of advice is just like in the words of Dory, just keep swimming.
That's awesome. We are delighted to have Dr. Rose and his family here with us this evening. We now invite him to come to the stage to accept his award from Parliamentary Secretary Panton. And please come on up to the middle of the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to thank everyone in Cayman Connection and Rita, who nominated me. Can't get away from my classmate from Triple C School, but I do appreciate the honor and being recognized in this fashion. You know that we live in a time where sometimes it's not that common to get recognized in the things that you necessarily think you should, but you know, this is something that I really believe that God had a purpose in my life from the beginning, and I do appreciate my mom and dad being here tonight. That's one of the highlights of my day, is to see you all here in person, my family who is back there, my wife who is here as well. And I'm just thankful for the journey. Thank you for my boys that have been able to be here with me as well tonight. But I just want to tell something to my fellow Caymanians, that in the words that kind of what Rita said, you know, it's no place like home. And I'm hoping that our orthopedic surgeon who's coming here soon will continue to blaze the trail for other Caymanian doctors returning home. I hope that that's something that on my pathway, that someday that I will be here as well. And I'm looking forward to continuing to serve where I'm at in the United States. But thank you so much for the honor. I could be here all night thanking different people who helped along the journey. Dr. Tomlinson, when I was in 12th grade, shadowing him. Nurse Hazel Brown, who helped me many a summer to get opportunities to work at HSA and things like that. And continuing along the journey, the Cayman Islands government, Maples, different people who helped with scholarships along the way. So I just want to tell you all, thank you for the support. Thank you for coming tonight, and to all the other recipients, congratulations. Thank you all.
Ready. Thank you, Dr. Rose and Mr. Ponton. We now turn to the STEM Award, sponsored once again this year by Bullish. The Bullish STEM Award celebrates excellence in leadership, advocacy, engagement, and the achievements of those within the fields of science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. This award is open to professionals and students who are making real impact, demonstrating success, and promoting growth in STEM. The recipient of the 2025 Bullish STEM Award is Gabriela Hernandez. Let's learn a little more about this innovative and impactful leader in this short video.
Hi, my name is Gabby Hernandez, and I'm honored to be the winner of the Bullish STEM Award. I am the head of communications and sustainability for Meta, a company that helps public and private sector clients worldwide drive meaningful innovation. I actually first left Cayman for a few years after Hurricane Ivan when I was 12. And since then, I have had the opportunity to live, study, and work overseas, as well as in Cayman. So, for example, I've been in Canada, Costa Rica, the UK, and now I'm based here in Spain, in the south. I've lived in Europe for over 7 years now, and transitioning was, it was really hard, especially being away from family and friends, and of course miss going to the beach and the water. But transitioning has been made easier by staying connected with, my family and friends, and finding my own community overseas. I didn't expect, I guess, to say that I would be in this industry. I've always been curious and keen to learn, to grow, and I think that's kind of really shaped my path. Just kind of following my passions and faith. I wanted to work more in a space where I could help start working and supporting solutions as opposed to just talking about challenges. So when I moved over, I had the chance to get involved in that space, start working with startups in climate tech, first kind of managing the communications for one of the largest climate tech ecosystems here in Europe. And yes, kind of since there really just gotten more into that space and deep tech and other areas. I look forward to being involved with the Cayman Connection community, and I think it's important to have a space, that allows Caymanians overseas to connect and support one another, especially since we're so far away from home. I'm really honored and grateful to have won the Bullish STEM Award, and just happy to connect with the community. So if anyone has questions, just feel free to reach out.
So Gabriela is not able to be here with us tonight, but we would like to ask her mother, Miss Angeline Hernandez, to join us on stage to accept the award on Gabriela's behalf. We also invite Mr. Alistair Foster, Chief Executive Officer of Bullish Capital, to the stage to present this award.
Gabby asked me to say a few words for her. I am truly honored and grateful to receive this award and to be nominated along the other winners. I'm grateful for the support of my family and community that has afforded me the opportunity to live, work, and study overseas. As the national song says, although I wander far, my heart enshrines thee yet. O land, fair Cayman Isle, I cannot thee forget. I'm not Rita, I can't sing that. I'm grateful to be able to represent my home. My experience growing up in Cayman has shaped my worldview and work. And while I'm grateful to be able to do the work I do, helping to support innovation and ecosystem development overseas, I hope I can one day help my own community. Thank you again.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Hernandez. With a mother like that, I can see such a phenomenal woman. Also, Mr. Foster, we appreciate your support from Bullish each and every year. We now move on to the Tourism, Travel, and Hospitality Award, which rewards excellence from individuals in any sector within this broad industry bracket. This category, which is sponsored by the Ministry of Tourism and Trade Development, covers all markets from travel agencies to food and beverage services, transportation, and entertainment services, and there is so much more. The recipient of the 2025 Making Waves Tourism, Travel, and Hospitality Award is Jamal Estwick. Now, I just have to say this, no one really knows this, but Jamal was actually the reason why I became a pilot. He was my very first pilot advisor. So, even though he's not here right now, he's off spreading Caymankind somewhere in a Boeing 777 in his position as first officer with Emirates. He does send his regrets that he's unable to be here this evening, but let's hear from him now.
My name is Jamal Omar Adrian Estwick. I'm an airline pilot, and I won the Making Waves Travel and Tourism Award for the Cayman Islands. I moved to Dubai in February of 2018. It was an easy transition for me. I liked being in a bigger city. The only hard part was being away from my family. The culture was a little bit different, but I got used to it pretty quickly. Contrary to what people may believe, Dubai is a place, or the United Arab Emirates on a whole is a place for everybody. So there's a little bit of everything. There's a Caribbean community out here. There's an American community. So I felt like I was home pretty quickly. I always wanted to be an airline pilot. I never wanted to be anything else. This inspiration came from just always living close to the airport. And at the time, my dad was in charge of the dog pound, or he used to work near the dog pound, which would for the agriculture department, which was located right at the airport. My preschool was right near the airport, so watching planes come in and land every day, that's where my inspiration came from wanting to be a pilot. Yeah, nothing else. I've never thought about being anything else outside of this category. The biggest lesson that I've learned in my career so far is that not every day will be the same, and how you plan things is not necessarily how it will go. You know, you'll have your goal, but the goalposts will shift from time to time. But as long as you adapt and keep a strong mindset, everything will be okay. God's delay is not God's denial, is what I like to say. Just try to remain humble. I just try to, be welcoming. I like to socialize, show that little bit of Caymankind, show people a part of my culture, a part of my country that they don't know about. A lot of people don't know about Cayman, so just keeping people aware of who we are, what we do, and also for the younger pilots and the aspiring pilots back in Cayman, just helping them the best that I can when they're making decisions about their career, when they come and approach me, helping them get out here if they want to and stuff. That's my version of Caymankind that I've been using since I've been over here and throughout my career. The next thing for me is to upgrade as a captain and just continue living and enjoying myself over here, excelling in my career as high as I could get and just enjoying the overall experience. I'm very happy where I'm at. I'll also like to encourage other aspiring pilots not to limit themselves. And if you want to do something with your career and do something more in a diverse culture, just come over and give it a chance. It's one of the best experiences that I ever had, and I would never hold it back from anybody.
We'd like to now invite Jamal's daughter, Ellie Estwick, accompanied by her mother, Jessica Estwick, to accept the Making Waves Tourism, Travel, and Hospitality Award on his behalf. The award will be presented by Deputy Chief Officer, Mr. Joel Francis from the Ministry of Tourism and Trade Development. Please join us, Mr. Francis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis, Elle, and Jessica. The Maples Group Financial, Legal, and Professional Services Award is our next presentation tonight. This award is aimed at individuals who have a proven record of exceeding client or business expectations, are innovative in their approach to problem solving, and have a robust and resilient professional strategy in their field. The award also shines a spotlight on the most impressive achievements by professionals in these fields. It's my honor to say that this year's recipient of the Maples Group Financial, Legal, and Professional Service Award is Harvey Stevenson, Jr. Let's take a look now at how Harvey is exemplifying excellence in finance, risk management, and leadership on the global stage.
I'm Harvey Stevenson, sometimes better known by my middle name, Hugh, in Cayman. I am an economist here in Washington, D.C. I won the Making Waves Award in the finance and legal category. I originally left to go to the UK, where I studied A-levels. At the time, I wanted to be a lawyer, but I changed my mind about that. I decided that I really loved economics and came over to the US, finished grad school here, and then got my first job out here in the US as well. I do love to go back to Cayman. I go back every year. My family, of course, is all still there. But I'm glad to have this connection to Cayman again. When I initially left Cayman and moved to the UK, you're far away from home, you're far away from friends. You obviously feel vulnerable and very removed. Things that you're used to doing, spending certain occasions with your family, with friends, that's not happening as much. But that, I think everyone experiences that, and that goes away over time. For some people it takes longer than others, but everyone adjusts eventually. I think when I started to realize there was a much bigger issue was as I moved along in my career in education, I met more and more people who had deep social networks in the UK or in the US that I realized that I did not have because I was not in Cayman anymore. And learning how to cope with that and build your own social network overseas was how I learned to cope with that. And I learned that it was probably the most fundamental challenge, because when you're in Cayman, if there's something you want to do, even if you don't know the person, you know someone who knows that person. It's a very, very small place. That is not the case when you're in the United States. You're not going to go to the grocery store and see the President of the United States, whereas if you're in Cayman, you probably can go to the grocery store and see the Premier. That's not a surprising thing to happen. So when I worked at the Fed, I remember sitting one day in a conference room with all of the economists in my department sitting around briefing the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, and they're briefing him because he's going off to vote on interest rates. And I realized for the first time I was closer to that process than anyone in Cayman typically is. And it's this thing that gets covered in the news, that's on CNBC, CNN, Bloomberg, everywhere. And I'm not deciding on interest rates obviously at that point, but or yet either. But being that close to the process was a pretty big moment for me, even though it wasn't necessarily a moment that was about me, just being there, I think, and being close to the whole center of everything was a highlight for me. Well, I am now an economic forecaster. Originally started as a modeler, building statistical models, but now as an economic forecaster, in the particular environment we're in, every time we open up a new economic forecast, the world has completely changed from the last time that we did it. So I don't quite know what's ahead. I am very excited to see how things evolve. But, I'm settling in my career and I'm looking forward to how things go.
And we are so happy that Harvey can be here with us tonight along with his parents. Harvey, we invite you to join us on stage to receive your award, which will be presented by Ms. Christina Bodden, partner at Maples Group. And please come on up to the center of the stage.
Tonight has been an absolutely incredible evening. There are so many brilliant nominees here, and I am absolutely humbled to be amongst them tonight. I'm going to keep this pretty brief. I want to thank a few people. First of all, I want to thank all of the people at the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority, in particular Cindy Scotland and Mr. Sibley's, who championed my career and me before I knew anything about financial regulation. I would not have made it this far without the support of the Cayman Islands government in that way. I want to thank the people who nominated me tonight, Miss Janet Lawrence, who was the winner last year, as well as my very best friend, Ridhima Kapoor. Ridhima has always ensured that no matter how many fancy degrees or achievements I make, I always remember I am little Hugh from the Cayman Islands. And so I thank her for that. And of course, I want to thank my two parents who are here with me tonight, without whom I could have achieved absolutely nothing in life. I want to make one additional remark in addition to what I said in my interview. When I graduated from high school here in Cayman, I was part of the class of 2005. And in the beginning of that academic year, in 2004, in September, I think you know where I'm going, we didn't know Hurricane Ivan was going to hit. And after we survived Hurricane Ivan, we had no idea that we were going to actually be able to complete the school year and move on with our lives. When we came to that school building and saw everything destroyed and a good number of our teachers gone for good, we really struggled to see the future. And I think that is one thing that I truly learned from Cayman above all others, is that Cayman is resilient. It doesn't matter how many hurricanes or storms we face. It doesn't matter what challenges we faced as sailors back in times gone by. It doesn't matter how many challenges we face from the OECD, Mr. Minister of Financial Services. We are able to stand up to all of it. So Caymankind is important, but Cayman is strong and it is resilient. So thank you, Cayman.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Harvey, and Ms. Podden, please remain with us. So as with several categories this year, the judges faced a highly competitive field of nominees, each, of course, bringing their very impressive achievements to the table. One individual, however, particularly stood out for her remarkable contributions and professional excellence. In recognition of her outstanding work as an adjunct professor, diaspora advocate, forensic social worker, certified facilitator, and board member for a crisis intervention team, and an incredible cake maker, by the way, we are pleased to present a highly commended honor in the financial, legal, and professional service category to Paula Jackson. Turn your attentions to the screen to learn more about what drives this awardee.
So my name is Paula Jackson. I'm a forensic social worker in the 26th Judicial District Public Defender's Office in Jackson, Tennessee. Forensic social work was a new thing. Social work, yes. When I was in Cayman, I was in the financial field, but back in 2009, I did have some stuff with my son in school that was being bullied at the time. So I did create a program called Cayman Bullying, the Cayman Bullying Project. And back then the aim was to, talk about bullying, because a lot of time, it was swept under the rug back then, and it's kids will be kids and all that kind of stuff. And my aim was to bring the effects of bullying and bring awareness to bullying in the schools and in a broader community, and to show them, from the victim, the bystanders, and the bully themselves point of view, and to get them to understand it's more serious. In 2012, we collectively co-founded a program called Cayman Anti-Crime Trust, which is known as Youth Act. With that, I brought my platform was bullying, and everybody else had a different platform, whether it was sexual trauma, gangs, guns, violence, all that kind of stuff. So we kind of came together and created a program that we started running in the school, and then we had a pilot with one of the government high schools, that went really well. So we ended up getting other schools in the Cayman Brac and everything else to reach out to us to run the same program in the schools. And then we finally got that incorporated, and that was part private, part government. That is still going today, and it's really successful. And as of when I left, we had over 3,000 kids go through the program at that point, and when I left in 2015. So you know that number has gone up even more now because it's still very active back home. You never judge a book by its cover. I mean, I've had some of the harshest looking criminals look at me and say, please don't judge me by the charge on that paper because that's not me. And I tell them, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to know you and know your story and see what we can do to help you. And so that's every time I walk into a room, I don't care if he's there for murder, if he's there for guns, gangs, drugs. My first thing is to see them as the person that's sitting there that bleeds red, just like you and I, and that were once had meaningful lives. And yes, there were probably things in their past that led them to that. But my thing is, we want to know why and get you the help you need so that you don't do it again, and kind of get them back on their feet when they leave the jail so we can reduce recidivism and they won't go back into jail. I have had a lot of Caymanians call me about the immigration stuff and how do I do this, how do I do that, and I've helped them navigate that stuff. So just having that person, that Caymanian, that fellow Caymanian, you know, that you can connect with. Like I said, just getting on the video calls and just 10 of us, and you just hear all the Cayman accents. It's like you're back home, even though it's all on video. But that in itself is therapy, especially when you're homesick. That used to help me a lot when I was feeling homesick. So that would be one of the biggest things I would encourage them to get on, because it connects you to back home and just gives you that feeling, you know, when you're homesick and stuff like that.
Okay, so Paula is home in Cayman and here tonight, and I am sure that I speak for everyone in the room that we want to try some of these cakes, right? Right? Okay. So Paula, welcome to the stage. If we could also have Ms. Bawden join for this very, very well-deserved award. Congratulations.
Good evening. I was not going to say anything, but seeing that everybody else came out and said something, I think I should. First of all, I just want to say thank you to whoever nominated me. I have no clue who nominated me, but I am really humbled and grateful that people have seen my journey, because I do post a lot on Facebook and stuff, so they've seen my journey up to this point. Tonight, with my background, helping people from here in Cayman, I just want to highlight my aunt, Margaret. A lot of you know her as Margaret Parsons. She is one of Cayman's national heroes, and she is on the wall. I grew up from a little girl watching her help people through ministry in West Bay, and she was very known for that. And that's kind of like where I started in wanting to help people. Like I mentioned, in 2009, my son was going through something, and that kind of inspired me to be the voice for others, because he was the voice at the time. He was not scared to back down. And from there on, I just thought that some people who don't have the strength to be the voice for themselves, that I will step in and do that. Now in Jackson, Tennessee, I still do the same thing. I deal with the indigent population, and a lot of times they cannot speak for themselves. So as a forensic social worker, as a part of the defense team, they bring me on and I help tell their story. For my clients, I always say, yeah, they're there, but there's always a story behind the story, and that's what we want people to know. So I just want to say thank you again for who nominated me. I'm not sure who did, and I'm humbled with it. And just thank you all for being here. Thank my mom, my son, my daughter, aunts, uncles, everybody, twin brother who is here to support me tonight. Thank you all.
Congratulations, Paula, and thank you, Ms. Bowden, and thank you to the Maples Group for once again sponsoring the Making Waves Legal, Financial, and Professional Services Award. We only have 2 more presentations to go, so please stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, the next award tonight is the Making Waves Sports Award, sponsored by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage. The Sports Award has been developed to spotlight the achievements of amateur and professional athletes, as well as coaches and trainers that continue to promote Cayman's rich sports legacy whilst living or working abroad. This year's recipient of the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage Sports Award is Molly Kehoe. Let's now turn our attention to the screen and meet this semi-professional footballer who is a force to be reckoned with both on and off the field.
I actually moved away when I was 15. I was actually in the States first for 2 years. I was playing for Darlington School Soccer Academy. That's kind of when COVID hit. So I ended up moving back home for 2 years. Then I realized that, I should go and follow my dream somewhere. So I had a trial with Cardiff City summer of 2023. It was a 2-week trial and I got in, I got signed. So I moved over here in 2023, July. It all happened very quickly. Growing up, I played lots of different sports, obviously hitting loads of different milestones, small and big. I'd say one of the significant milestones for me is playing with getting my first cap for the women's national team. Obviously going to play many games with them, scoring goals, winning MVPs and top goal scorers in tournaments. I'd say those are definitely significant milestones for me. Caymankind in the football community is all about inspiring other people, inspiring the youth. When I was back at home the last time, I did a little training session with a few school kids, and it was just great to see a smile on their faces and know that I'm inspiring the youth. And yeah, I think that's what Caymankind's all about. I think other Caymanians living overseas should definitely get involved in the Cayman Connection. I think, like I said before, somebody will always be there to talk to if you're in need, and to know that other people are in similar situations as you is really helpful as well.
Unfortunately, Molly can't be with us here tonight, but her parents, Mike and Lisa Kehoe, are. And Mr. Kehoe will collect the award on Molly's behalf. Please. May we have Parliamentary Secretary Heather Bowden join us on the stage to present the Sports Award.
Good evening. Molly does send her apologies for not being here in person, although secretly I think that she's relieved she doesn't have to speak in front of the microphone. It's not something she relishes. Molly is very privileged, very humbled to be given this award in light of the amazing Caymanians that she stands alongside, and I echo that. It's just being here tonight and listening, I'm blown away myself, so congratulations to everybody out there. Molly would like to thank all of her coaches, from her school ages right through her club career and her national team career, her fellow players that encouraged her to follow her dreams, as she said in the video, and not to be afraid to follow those dreams, and thank you. I'll keep it brief. Good meeting.
Right. Thank you to Parliamentary Secretary Bodden as well as Mr. Kehoe. Our final award for the night, yes, we are finally here, is Making Waves Education Award, which is sponsored by the Ministry of Education and Training. This award celebrates contributions and achievements of those in roles that have not only improved the quality of education, but also enriched the lives of students. The recipient of the 2025 Making Waves Education Award is Swahil Householder. Let's meet this nationally recognized leader in higher education finance.
So my name is Swahil Householder. I currently serve as the Vice President for Finance and CFO at Anderson University in Anderson, Indiana. I came to the United States as an international student in 1993 at the age of 16, and I graduated in 1998 and moved back to the Cayman Islands to work. And my husband and I decided in 2003 approximately to return to the United States so that he could pursue his doctorate in English. The opportunity presented itself for me to work at my alma mater, Anderson University, which was really literally just down the street from our new house. So I entered higher education at that point as an employee, as a budget accountant. And, you know, it was just the perfect opportunity for me at the time, but I started working here and just really enjoyed the experience and have, you know, kind of climbed the corporate ladder, so to speak. And, you know, now I serve as the vice president of the institution, and along the way realized that I really enjoyed this work. And so I've, you know, have several degrees now. I have an MBA, and now I'm working on my doctorate in higher education. Well, what's interesting about this award is I'm not an educator. I'm not in the classroom in front of students, but I am an administrator of education. I impact the lives of students every day in the work that I do, but they don't know that. They don't ever really, I mean, I don't necessarily interact with students. And what gives me joy or puts a smile on my face is when I meet new students who are just starting their education journey, and then when they graduate, and just the culmination of their academic journey is represented in that moment. And to see that transformation is like none other. And I help to make that happen in the work that I do in the finance and operations business of the university. I'm currently wrapping up sort of a season in my life. I'm in the late stages of writing my dissertation for my doctoral degree. I hope to defend it in the fall months, so sometime between September and November, and graduate hopefully in December, if not by May of next year. So being Dr. Householder is a culmination, you know, of my big dreams, and I'm excited to see where it takes me. I don't know what will happen after that, but I'm excited.
We are very delighted to have Swahil and her family here with us tonight. Minister Rolson Englund, please join us on stage to present this award, sponsored by your ministry, the Ministry of Education and Training.
told my friends tonight that I would speak. I just want to say thank you, Raleigh, and I worked at Pricewaterhouse in West Bay, and woo! I'm a very proud Caymanian, and whenever I present myself and I say who I am, I always say I am from the Cayman Islands, and they know it, and I'm proud of it. And although I don't live here anymore, my heart is always here. And I'm so thankful for my husband and my family and how they support me and that they're here with me today. And goodness, I wish I wasn't so emotional, but that's just how much this means to me. So thank you to Cayman Connection. Thank you to Kate. Thank you to everyone who's part of this organization. It's important for us to stick together here and overseas. Making connections, so important. And I think one of the most impactful things of coming together, even online, is being able to speak freely. It's Caymanians, and what a wonderful organization. I am so thankful to have found Cayman Connection. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Anglin, and soon to be Dr. Householder. And there you have it, folks, our 2025 Making Waves awardees. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Now, our very last item of business tonight is, as mentioned at the beginning, the prize draw. So we had a large pool of nominations for this year's awards. So a big thank you to everyone who submitted a nomination. So tonight we will draw one of those nominators' names, and that person will win, as mentioned before, a Cayman Airways travel voucher.
And it is my absolute pleasure to now call the newly promoted Cayman Connection Joint Lead Student Ambassador, Gabby King, on stage to do the honors. And we're going to get that prize. There we go. Thank you very much, Reagan. Oh, and it is Miss Hannah Jackson. Round of applause. Thank you very much, Gabby. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your time this evening. A special thank you, of course, to our generous sponsors, without whom this just would not have been possible.
Yep. And we also extend our gratitude to Horatio Esteban, who created the beautiful awards, David Goddard Photography and Koga Production, and Cayman Spaces for the video production and services. And by the way, if you all get a second, do take a look at those awards. They're actually made out of Caymanite.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. And thank you as well to the management and staff of Cayman National Cultural Foundation for the use of this absolutely lovely theater, and of course, your hospitality.
Yep. Just before y'all get up, just take a quick look around. Make sure there's no garbage by you. If there is, please just pick it up and throw it in the bins on your way out. And also, thank you to all of the volunteers for your assistance tonight. This would not be possible without you. And before everybody runs away, I will ask the award recipients to please come up here with their representatives for a group photo. Thank you all so much, and please enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah.
So come on up, you award recipients or representatives. And thank you all once again so very much for coming out. And one final congratulations to all of our amazing awardees. Let's get one final round of applause.